you don't know, sir, at this point.
No exact number.
Sir, I just have one final question. Sir, I'm sorry, but I cannot accept your explanation that you knew all along beforehand that in fact there were indications that in fact firearms were being amassed and that there are vehicles that are being amassed, and it had to take this incident before the police did something about it. It just doesn't. It's just not acceptable that all this time the police saw indication and sat on its ass.
Well, it's not like the firearms were found in cabinets, no? They were dug up. So if I had the same presence that you anticipate, I would probably be able to dig up a lot more valuable things than illegal firearms. But the fact of the matter is the local officials in the area, Governor Abatuan, the different mayors, had operational control and supervision over all police forces in their area. So even in fact the management by the National Police Commission over the police forces in the area are basically waived in favor of the autonomous region. So as to the extent of knowledge that we would have about specific areas in the province of Maguindanao, I think you would only need to go to Maguindanao to realize that it is not that easy to know everything that's going on in the province.
Sir, I have been to Maguindanao.
Well, I respect your opinion. Thank you. But I still maintain.
And their third cousin knows that the Ampatuans are warlords and that they are running amok in that province.
Well, I respect your.
We have journalists that died in this incident, sir.
I think the outrage is shared. We share the outrage that you feel, and we respect your opinion. But we still maintain that at the end of the day, our duty is to enforce the law and
Okay, thank you.
Sir, have you monitored the movements outside of Maguindanao? Because I think some weeks ago, the Ampatuans called for their supporters as far as Tawi-Tawi, Basilan, and Sulu, and Lanao. So are there any armed groups from those areas that probably their allies that are moving towards to defend them in Maguindanao? And so are you seeing a spillover outside of Maguindanao? And my final question is, would you recommend for the AMLA to freeze the assets of the Ampatuans to prevent them from using their resources?
Okay, thank you. Do you see any movements, any signs of deployment?
The AMLA, I will refer, I'm sure. The AMLA will refer to Secretary of Justice. On the matter of the other local officials that were consulted, they called me also when they were asked to join. They were actually not asked to bring armed men. They were asked to go there and assist in preventing the issuance of whatever search warrants might come. Of course, no search warrants ensued, so that became unnecessary. But as far as I know, the governors in the other areas chose not to participate in that particular incident.
So they have no more allies?
Well, no, I wouldn't say that. I think that, I believe that they considered it to be an affair that they should not get involved with, that they did not want to be involved in any interference in the process of service of warrants of any nature, and to respect the law. So, so far, we don't believe that this problem of rebellion can extend to the other areas.
Martial law confined only in Maguindanao, sir. Maguindanao only.
Yes.
AMLA.
Well, the AMLA, we are, I'm speaking now as Solicitor General. The Office of the Solicitor General is now waiting for the endorsement from the AMLA, because the Secretariat has to come up with the evidence before we file that case. But that is something that is being seriously worked on.
Okay, quickly now, three, Raisa, and you two, and then we'll have to let the guests go because they have some work to do. They have a rebellion request.
Secretary De Banadera, this is about the Proclamation 1959. When the Andal Sr. and Zaldi Ampatuan were were arrested, they were arrested based on the original document signed by President Arroyo, Proclamation 1959. But it turns out that the document, well, it cites two legal basis for the proclamation, the Constitution and a Republic Act, which turns out to be the creation of a village high school. So you said that there was a clerical error at noon, but by that time they had already been arrested. Now can their lawyers now turn around and go to the Supreme Court and say the martial law declaration is invalid because it's based on the Constitution and the formation of a national high school, of a village high school?
First, on this particular point, it's not just the number, but in the proclamation, on the third whereas clause, there is also a reproduction of what that law refers to. So this is definitely a clerical error. Okay? So that's it. Now the second is, because we're referring to the revised penal code.
Actually, you were referring to another law. Well, it became part of the revised penal code, but it actually has to do with coup d'etat, rebellion.
Yes, that's the reason why we're saying that there is a reproduction here of what we are referring to in the third whereas clause. And if you're saying that can anybody raise this issue